Hello everyone, welcome back to On the Fly. Today we're looking at Day 8 of the World Junior Championship currently happening in Gothenburg, Sweden. So as we take a look at the scores from today's games, we were really looking at the two semifinal games and the relegation game. We'll start off with the relegation game, which was honestly probably one of the better games from today. All three games were outstanding games. I'll preface it with that. And really just competitive, solid games all around. We'll start off with this first one here. And in this game, it was really a back and forth game. Norway had times where they set the pace. Germany had times where they set the pace. And they really just went back and forth. Really, the only blemish to Norway's game today was in the overtime period. And they missed the net by about that much. That's all they missed it by, to put the puck in the back of the net, right off the edge of the stick, and just missed it. And to put the puck in the empty net, the backdoor play, just missed it for Norway. And then sure enough, 30, 45 seconds later, Germany goes down and scores a goal, ending Norway's time in the top group. They will be sent and they will be demoted back down to Division 1A. Kazakhstan will be the team that will replace them next year. Your final for this one, Germany wins 5-4 the relegation game. Germany will stay up for next year's tournament. And we take a look at the first semifinal game of today, and this was yet another good game. Sweden plays the Czechs. The score is 5-2, but at the same time, this game was not really a 5-2 game. It was 2-2 up until about 10 minutes, and then it sort of just fell apart at the end of it. The reality is the Czechs played really, really well. It's just they had a couple of unfortunate bounces, a couple of weak goals from right off the top. Just their goaltender couldn't really find the puck. And really the same thing happened with Sweden. Both goalies had a couple rough goals against, and sure enough, the game ends 5-2 is your final, and Sweden moves on to the gold, the Czechs move on to the bronze, and that's all she wrote pretty much for that game. I mean, there's not much you can do. If you're the Czechs, you played a great game. You just didn't bury your chances when you had them, and Sweden did. So that was really the end result of that game. It was a really tight game, tight checking game. Sweden just pulled away in the end, and they won 5-2. Then taking a look at the third game from today, we have the U.S. and Finland, and in this game, it was really a great game overall too. This one was one of those games where Finland goes up early. Surprise, surprise. I mean, I did predict that they'd win this game. They didn't. Come at me in the comments. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Come at me. Go for it. But with that being said, we were live for this game, and I'll show you some highlights from it. I guess we'll see. 3:50. Oh, my God. U.S. scored.
The tournament's leading point getter gets his second goal. The goal off with 10 assists.
He hasn't set his name very much in this game, but this is where he's done that release.
Is Braden still in here? Braden, if you're in the chat, Cutter just scored. I think they did just pull a check here. I think that's the problem. Dang. I was really hoping for it. So anyway, yes, that was my reaction. And you can also sort of notice the difference in hats. Yes, I was cheering for Finland. I have now officially embraced the anybody but America goal. And I mean, that tends to be what happens when the Canadians get knocked out. You cheer for a team that you don't like, and that's the Americans. I will always cheer against the Americans. Once again, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I bet against them in the last video. They did not win. But nonetheless, this game was a really good game, and I'll sort of talk about it. 2-0 for Finland in the first period. Second period, they came back. 2-2 was after 2. And then it was really anybody's game. And you could really tell that on the ice. Both teams knew it was anybody's game. But then, all of a sudden, a bad penalty gets called. And yes, there were a bunch of ice sticks that they missed before that. But then a bad penalty gets called in the final 5 minutes. And like we said in the Switzerland-Sweden game, you don't call penalties that late in the game unless it's an obvious penalty. It was not a penalty. Sure enough, the U.S. goes on to score. Cutter Gauthier. Surprise, surprise. They win that, and they're up 3-2. Sure enough, 30 seconds later, I sort of mentioned on stream that the whole point of what happens next is that they have to call a penalty against the U.S., so they have to be really careful. Sure enough, Finland guy goes down. Penalty gets called on the U.S. Unfortunately for Finland, they cannot get anything seeming to go. So with that being said, that is your final. 3-2, U.S. over the Finns. Huge, huge win for the U.S., and they booked their spot to the gold medal game. And as for Finland, just too little too late, couldn't hold on quite enough. They lose this game, they'll go to the bronze medal game. Let's take a look at the news. Germany welcomes everyone to a happy new year. They get to stick around for one more year at least. As for Norway, bye bye bye, as NSYNC famously sung, not the Backstreet Boys, bye bye bye. Norway is gone for next year's tournament. They'll get demoted to Division 1A. Kazakhstan will be the team that will replace them. Then for Sweden, the Swede sensation, it continues. Sweden has now booked their spot to the gold medal game. They will look to win their gold medal game tomorrow for the first time in basically a while. I mean, they've won one gold medal in the last, I believe it's 30 years. It's been a long time coming. So with that being said, sure, they won recently, but they'd like another one to add to the long drought. As for the Czechs, they'll be fighting for bronze. Tough game for them today, just fell a little bit short in the end. Then for the U.S., last-minute heroics. Tough game. I mean, it was a tough game all around for the Finns too. Last minute pain for them. Last minute heroics for the U.S. That's your game. That's your news from today. And as we look at the playoffs, this is what we got. We got in the gold medal game, we have the U.S. and Sweden. In the bronze medal game, we have Finland and the Czechs. Those games will be really good. As you look at the times from those games, 9 a.m. will be the Czechs and the Finns. That game will be an excellent game. Both teams are definitely going to be competing for that medal. It's not like in previous years where you think back to last year. It was that U.S.-Sweden game, which was really both teams saying, okay, I don't care. I just want to score some goals. This game will be a really tight checking game, and I think they are going to go really hard for the medal, especially the Czechs, because you think about it, right? They medaled last year, silver. They won another medal at this one. They don't get that many medals in this tournament. So when they can say they got one, they're going to go after it. That's why the Czechs are going to play this game hard. Finland will follow suit, and it will make for a really good game. And then at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the gold medal game, U.S. and Sweden, and we will be going live for it. So be sure to come back to this channel. We will be having everything from all your analysis, live reaction, all of that. We'll be drawing up some tactic plays like we did on today's stream. Come join the community. It is awesome, and I look forward to seeing you all there. But with that being said, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. If you'd like to drop a like, if you really like, consider subscribing. Tell all your friends and comment down below your thoughts on Day 8 of the World Junior Championship. Until next time, see you.